Welcome to our channel. In 1987, the Soviets decided to make a final attempt to end the war in Angola. In Operation Saluting October, over 10,000 FAPLA troops and Soviet advisors, heavily reinforced with tanks, aviation, and artillery, were deployed in an operation aimed at capturing UNITA base at Mavinga before attacking Jamba. However, the Soviets failed to account for the logistical disadvantages and technical shortcomings of the FAPLA forces, which were hindered by the difficult terrain and the possibility of South African intervention. For this reason, the Cubans categorically opposed taking part in the new offensive. On the personal orders of Fidel Castro, Cuban combat forces were explicitly forbidden from participating in Saluting October, although Cuban aviation would support the FAPLA troops. By late April 1987, FAPLA forces began gathering around Cuito Cuanavale. The South African Defense Force, SADF, which had already warned UNITA of the upcoming offensive, initially sent only small liaison teams to advise UNITA but later provided covert support, including anti-tank teams and aircraft. By early July, 8 FAPLA brigades had been assembled, with 4 leading the assault on Mavinga. The Soviets had planned a pincer attack, with forces securing the Jamba River to allow other brigades to cross. However, they soon became bogged down in fighting UNITA near the Mavinga River. The Soviets paused the advance, ordered FAPLA to regroup, and brought in more supplies and troops, planning to resume the offensive in August. As the situation quickly escalated and realizing that UNITA couldn't handle FAPLA on its own, Pretoria was forced into a large-scale intervention. On August 4, the SADF launched its most controversial operation, Operation Modular. With Mavinga under threat and fearing a resurgence of SWAPO activity, Pretoria decided to assist UNITA. A 700-man force, designated 20 Brigade, was assembled from the SADF's 32 Buffalo Regiment. The force comprised 5 motorized infantry companies, with 1 additional in support, 3 reconnaissance teams, 1 battery each of multiple rocket launchers, MRLs, and mortars, and 2 troops of anti-aircraft artillery. In late August, 20 Brigade was bolstered by the 61 Mechanized Battalion Group, 61 Mech, 2 infantry companies of 101 Battalion in Caspers, and 1 battery each of G 5,155 mm howitzers and 120 mm mortars. However, even with this reinforcement, the South African force in Angola never exceeded 3,000 men. The small size of the force, compared to over 6,000 FAPLA troops, highlights the limits Pretoria set to keep the operation covert, a goal that quickly became unrealistic, as previous South African operations had been exposed soon after starting. Ignoring the lessons of Operation Savannah in 1975, where a small operation unexpectedly escalated into a full-scale war, Pretoria stuck to a day-to-day strategy without a clear plan for withdrawal or progress. The crucial question of when South African forces should withdraw or whether they should advance and capture Cuito Cuanavale was left undecided. Most importantly, the SADF's failure to appreciate the willingness of the Cubans to intervene decisively to help their FAPLA allies avoid defeat led to what proved to be the SADF's hardest-fought campaign of the Angolan War. Continue watching our videos to learn more about the Angola War.